Good evening. My name is Jeff Axness, principal of Central High School. It is my honor to welcome you all to the Central High School 2025 commencement ceremony. At this time, I would ask that you please welcome the Central High School staff. And now, led by Associate Principal Amber Erickson and Dean of Students Katie Green, Honor Guard Chloe Ackerman and Santi Toribio, please welcome the Central High School class of 2025. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Class of 2025, please be seated. We want to start the evening with our land recognition. We recognize that Crosse High School will cross after occupy the island. Please take a moment to celebrate the ancestral sacred land. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the platform guests. Beginning on the far left, Central Administrative Team. Principal Jeff Axness, Associate Principal Amber Erickson, Dean of Students Katie Green, and Activities Director Mark Ambrose. The School District of La Crosse Administration, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Aaron Engel, Associate Superintendent of Schools Jeffrey Femwright, and Director of Secondary Education Stacy Everson, Dr. Stacy Everson, Board of Education members, Deb Supa, Jim Bagneski, Meredith Garcia, Tim Alberts, Molly Fuchs, and Scott Neumeister. On the far right, one of your class speakers, Cutter Mannock. And I am Maya Rizwan, La Crosse Central High School Student Center President. Welcome to the 2025 Central High School graduation ceremony. And now, the Central Robe Choir will perform the musical selection When the Earth Stands Still.
Good evening. My name is Carter Mannock. It is an honor to speak to all of you today. I'd like to start by thanking my family for being there for me every step of the way through the last 4 years of my life. I'd also like to thank my teachers, who have worked tirelessly to provide countless opportunities for me, and the wonderful music staff, who have helped me over the last few years. I'd like to thank our custodians for keeping our schools safe, clean, and helping unlock doors when I've left my backpack in a locked classroom. Surely, I'm not the only one who's been there. Finally, I'd like to thank the Central Administration for all that they do, but especially for not throwing the speech in the trash when I gave it to them. All right, I'll get to the actual speech now. Hello, class of 2025. It is a great honor to speak in front of all of you on our graduation day and finally say that we made it. We're finally here after 4 chaotic years of homework, English class, tests, English class, and English class again. The day we've been told about for most of our lives is here. Whether you're going into the workforce, pursuing higher education, or somewhere in between, our schooling career has built up to this day when we go out into the world and make a difference. All 264 of us will make a difference in this world, whether big or small. And I hope that will be a positive one. After today, our relationship with each other will be different. We will no longer be seen as classmates, but just as regular people in this world. Some of us will go far away, others plan to stay here, but whatever you do, I hope that you take your experiences gained through your years here and take it out into the world. Personally, I spent the first few years of high school career lost and not sure what I wanted to do, and lacking interest in most things. I wasn't part of any clubs, sports, or extracurricular activities. That didn't change until my junior year when I was approached by my good friend Nick, who invited me to play with the show choir band. I was initially very afraid, and given my extremely busy schedule of doing nothing, though I ultimately decided to go for it. Since then, I've been part of many ensembles, meeting several other musicians who shaped me into the person I am today. Thinking back, it's difficult to imagine my life without these experiences and my friends I've made along the way. It seems to be mandatory of a graduation speech to include a quote. So here's a quote. Surround yourself with people who make you happy, people who make you laugh, who help you when you're in need, people who genuinely care. They are the ones worth keeping in your life. Everyone else is just passing through. There I quoted someone. Now, this is a proper graduation speech. Do as much as possible. Take every opportunity you have in life. As Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Hey look, I quoted another person. Every opportunity is precious. Don't sit on them like I did, or else you end up missing every shot. That is my advice as we close this chapter of our life and flip the page to the next one. Don't let a good opportunity go to waste. Even though our time in high school is over, it is not our time to rest. It's the opportunities we take and the relationships that we build that change lives. In other words, the real education was the friends we made along the way. Class of 2025, our time, like all good things in life, has been temporary. It is our time to leave high school for something better. It was not the best of times, but it is our time to leave. And I'm happy to say that senioritis is no more. We actually get to go home now. I will end this speech by thanking all of you for making the last 4 years certainly an experience. To all of you, students, staff, all my friends in the orchestra playing tonight, I hope you have a good life. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I did not end my speech in a quote, so I didn't pass the Carter's necessity there. But anyways, all right. Well, here we are, guys. If you had told me during my junior year that I was going to speak at graduation, I would have laughed in your face. Or maybe side-eyed you, I don't know. Last year, I convinced myself I would never speak to the public again. Let me explain. Back then, I was in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. I don't really know why I joined, I'm not going into business. I guess I just like the people. Somehow, I ended up as FBLA president, and for reasons I still don't fully understand, I decided to run for regional vice president, a state officer role. It seemed like a good idea at the time. When you run, you have to write a speech that you present to your region, which is usually made up of around 500 people more or less. And for my speech, I wrote out some bullet points on my phone because I wanted to walk around with the mic like I was giving a TED Talk and not be tied to a script. This turned out to be a bad idea. Usually there isn't another candidate for regional VP. However, there was one this time. While the other candidate delivered her speech, I sat backstage and was briefed on what I was about to do. She delivered a decent speech, and while my chapter claimed she quoted Pitbull too many times, I thought I had solid competition. However, I noticed she lacked energy in her speech, so I figured I'd sweep the floor. When she finished, I stepped up confidently to the mic and began with some crowd work, saying, "Hey everybody, how are we doing today?" And I had a really good response. I went over the first point without issues, then disaster struck. I accidentally bumped my tab in Google and exited out of my speech. So now I'm just standing there, mic in hand, with that horrible feedback ringing out, staring at my phone like it betrayed me. Started winging it. And keep in mind, these were bullet points, not a speech. You don't memorize bullet points. So now I'm mumbling, stuttering, losing track of everything. And midway through a sentence, a member stood up and called time. So I stopped awkwardly and said, "Okay, thank you," and walked back to my chapter. I asked them how I did, and they're great people, so they told me I did wonderfully. However, my sister is also part of my chapter and told me I sounded like hot garbage. So I told myself there was no way I would ever speak again. It just wasn't my thing. I'm better at small projects and not meant to speak in front of a ton of people. Most of you know, I've been in Student Senate for a few years. One of my favorite things was working on the Kindness Outreach Committee. After that lovely FBLA crash and burn, I threw myself into it. This was the first step towards some of the most significant changes I've ever seen in myself. I put in a lot of work and saw many positive changes in our school because of it. I was thrilled with the outcome. I did a poetry contest, planned Teacher Appreciation Week, and created other events to celebrate marginalized people with visuals, posters, and other activities. The positive impact on our school was rewarding. Being recognized for my hard work, I was nominated and eventually voted in as Student Senate President. After some hesitation, I accepted and got to work over the summer planning homecoming and other initiatives. When the year actually started, I felt ready, even if public speaking still made me nervous, but the Student Senate meetings went well. Then came our academic achievement night. I was in my English class during silent reading when Mr. Access knocked on the door. It was for me. He put me in the hallway and asked if I wanted to speak at the academic achievement night since I was president of Student Senate. Instantly, every FBLA trauma flashback hit me like a truck. I almost said no, but then I thought, I speak to Senate twice a week. That's like public speaking, right? I'll just have to do that, but multiplied by 6. So I said yes. On the drive to that speech, I blasted music, no poll by Don Tolliver by the way, and was so scared to speak. This time though, I printed out my speech and stayed at the podium. I practiced the speech so many times I almost had it memorized. I was ready, even though I was super nervous. When I delivered the speech, I cracked a few jokes and people found them somewhat funny, which made me feel really good afterwards. I received a few compliments and at that point I felt unstoppable. I had tackled something I had feared and embarrassed myself with confidence. Looking back, I realized how much someone can truly change in a single year. I went from swearing off public speaking forever to standing on this stage, delivering a graduation speech. I used to think leadership meant perfection, charisma, or always having the right answer. But this year taught me that leadership is really about showing up, being willing to learn, and pushing forward even when things go wrong, like when a speech crashes mid-sentence. More than anything, I've learned that fear only wins when we let it. Overcoming the fear of public speaking wasn't about suddenly becoming fearless, it was about finding the courage to try again and again until it didn't quite scare me as much. Growth doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes it happens in a quiet classroom conversation with your advisor. Sometimes it happens backstage with shaky hands and a heart beating out of your chest. And sometimes It looks like just saying yes, even when you're afraid. To anyone who feels like they didn't do enough in high school, or who wishes they could go back and do it over, please hear this. Change is always possible. You don't need a perfect past to build an amazing future. You just need a willingness to grow, to learn from your mistakes, and to show up for the next opportunity. I used to think I wasn't cut out for leadership. I thought public speaking would always be terrifying. I thought one failure defined me, but now I know better. So as we turn this page on this chapter of our lives, spread our wings, set sail on uncharted waters, or whatever other corny graduation metaphor you can think of, let's carry this truth with us. We are capable of more than we know. We are not bound by who we were yesterday. And if I can go from hot garbage public speaker to giving a graduation speech, then there's no limit to what any of us can do next. People change, and you can too. Thank you.
Congratulations, class of 2025. This is my 29th year working in high schools and my 14th year at Central. In all those years, I've attended my fair share of graduation ceremonies. And the thing that always strikes me at every one, no matter how many I've been to, is that incredible mix of emotions. On one hand, there's a tremendous amount of excitement and joy and a palpable feeling of accomplishment in the air. I can feel it tonight, and it's amazing. You should be incredibly proud of everything that you've accomplished. This is a wonderful night of celebration, and you should enjoy every minute of it. On the other hand, I found that there can be a sense of angst and a fear of the unknown. Most of you have spent the last 18 or so years with a large safety net and a strong system of support from your family, friends, and your teachers. When you stumbled, you had a lot of people that could help you rise up and get back on track. Now, you may be feeling like some of those security blankets are going away. You're not going to have someone right across the hallway at home or a smiling face in the LMC. You may also be feeling a bit sad tonight. Many of the relationships you've built, the activities you've been a part of, and the routines that have become your normal over the last several years will never quite be the same. At the very least, you'll probably find yourself being nostalgic about some childhood memories and the feeling of simpler times gone by. No matter where you sit on the spectrum of emotions this evening, I can assure you that this confusing mix of feelings is what life is. Every time you finish a year of college, get a promotion at work, start a brand new job, or move to an unfamiliar city, begin or end another relationship, you will have a mix of emotions. And those emotions are where you can find the beauty in life. The joy that you feel from an accomplishment should fill your heart and your soul. And it doesn't have to be a huge formal event like graduating from high school. It can be, and it should be, doing a good job at work on a random Tuesday, helping someone else that is in need, doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and knowing that you didn't do it to get something in return, just because it's right. That's where life can truly bring happiness. When it comes to that feeling of unease of what is coming next, I urge you to embrace the unknown. Don't be afraid to take chances. Bet on yourself. You can accomplish more than you know, and you can do it without the safety nets that you might think you need. You will make some mistakes. You will fail. You won't be perfect, and that is okay. Trying something new that isn't guaranteed is one of the best ways to grow as a person. And that growth is something to be proud of and for you to find joy in. When it comes to feeling sad about the moments, the friends, the years, and the experiences that have passed by, I tell you to remember this. The reason you're feeling nostalgic about the past is because those moments were so wonderful in the first place. We don't reminisce about the time that we had the flu and couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. What we do is we sit with friends and we remember the good times we had in the commons, at the assembly, in class, on the bus, in the bleachers, out on the court, in our friend's basement, and every other place where our memories exist. And we do this because those were the best times. Those little everyday moments that we will surely miss in the future are the same moments that should fill our hearts and souls with joy today. So class of 2025, I urge you to enjoy every small moment of tonight, the rest of your summer together. Take the next step in life with courage and with confidence, and every now and then, look back fondly on the moments and smile about where you've been and what you've accomplished. Congratulations, class of 2025, and best of luck with wherever life takes you. And now, the reason we are here, as principal of Central High School, it is my duty and my privilege to certify this class for graduation. So, Superintendent Engel, I certify that these seniors have met the requirements of the school board and the state of Wisconsin for a high school diploma, and I recommend now that they be graduated.
Zach Adams. Caleb Adam St. Solver. Emily Allen. Jude Alvarado. Kylan Anderson. Berlin Anderson. Caden Apon. Nathaniel Apon. Damian Art. Dakota Arsenault. Montana Arsenault. Lily Bagnell. Layla Barr. Richard Baker III. Glitch Bakken. Wyatt Banasic. Aria Bast. Aubrey Bauer. Nico John Carl Belleris. Leah Marie Byer. Caitlin Ann Biondo. Jaden Birdsell. McKenna Biorgi. Madeline Bliss. Rose Bonson. Avery Bosshard. Silas Daniel Bratch. Connor Brindley. Moxie Brown. Noah Brown. Dylan Burrish. Cassidy Burrell. Eowyn Bushman. Liliana Bai. Joey Cahalan. Susan Cahalan. Jalen Calvert. Shayla Cyphers. Cooper Daniel. Cadence Davis. Zeke Davis. Addisy Desart Autumn. Jaden DeLeo. Riley DePratt Navarro. Miguel Dodge. Gracie Lynn Duncanson. Colton Dunn. Andrew Egan. Jarrett Ellis. Brooklyn Elskamp. Finnegan Emlett. Mason Emil Webb. Adam Erickson. Laurel Rain Erickson. Preston Erler. Natalia Miranda Estrada. Henry Fauché. Carlos Figueroa Perez. Aaron Finn. Caleb Fisher. Nevea Mallory Flam. Devin Foley. Sienna Folkers. Brody Folstead. Annika Tess Ford. Caden Foster. Adeline Jean Francis. Jaden Fricky. Sierra Grace Freed. Audrina Frisk. Aubrey Jacqueline Fromm. Caden Frost. Lila Dawn Freeling. Georgia Galvan. Zach Galvin. Aiden Gardner. Evan Gardner. Harmony Gosh. Kaylee Geary. Marissa Gelfie. Casey Gilbertson. Covian Gomez. Miaja Gomez. Alyssa Gray. Gavin Gregus. Brianna Grilly. Olivia Groth. Noah Groves. Casey Hagen-Holen. Shay Hall. Cameron Hansen. Danielle Hansen. Lucas Lyle Hansen. Sydney Sue Hansen. Isabel Harden. Jackson Robert Harpinaugh. Awin Hatcher. Leland Hatchett. Samuel Heisey. Aaliyah Herr. Melina Herr. Maddox Herlitsky. Abigail Holmes. Hannah Hubbard. Nicole Hurchin. Nathan Ivins. Zaid Jandal. Randon Kale. Aji Kanake. Landon Kanzier. CJ K. Aya Klein Borgert. Adam Kleinhans. JD Click. McKenna Emerson Klingelhofer. Gavin Cook. Daniel Ucharenko. Owen Lafke Allen. Case LaJoy. Branston Lambert. Lawson Lappick. Laura Lapp. Jonah Larson. Zachariah Lever. Ying Lee. Madison Lessard. Isabella Gladys Marie Lincoln. Elias Lindahl. Savannah Lockington. Shamariana Logan. Anne Luong. Caden Lyons.
Ireland McGlashan. Ella Madsen. Jamarian Malone. Carter Mannock. Jacob Ezekiel Markland. Andrew Martell. Nevea Martin. Maura Lee Martini. Emerson Mather. Peter Mayer. Joe Mayer. Megan Mayer. Elise McDonald. Paige Mendiola. Savannah Catalina Mendoza. Tabitha Meyer. Evangeline Elizabeth Mission. Michael Moore. Tyra Moore. AJ Morris. Sophia Morris. Ava Moss. Anna Mua. Chia Shi Mua. Timmy Mua. Vincent Mua. Ian Molis. Celeste Morozic. Autumn Mueller. Amir Murray. Mason Muth. Rosa Myron. Colin Nieberman. Gideon Nesius. Susanna Nelson. Zoe May Nelson. Bodie Nessler. Gavin Neschmal. Naomi Nicole Nicholson. Abigail Novak. Nicholas Oldenburg. Zoe Olinger. Lucas Olson. Daphne Osborne. Derek Pangier. Taya Pappas. Isaiah Petros. Carmen Peterson. Jessa Tracer Peterson. Emerson Place. Monet Porter. Mason Potke. Tierra Potts. Vincent Powell. Eric Ramsier. Samara Jean Ray. Jackson Reed. Zoe Reindl. Dylan Reinsvold. Mackenzie Reinsvold. Kieran Reisenauer Joaquin. Wait. Sanaya Riley Wells. Emily Ritter. Maya Rizwan. Jabari Roberson. Olivia Rudy. Clay Sargent. Connor Shelby. Aaliyah Shields. Bree Elizabeth Scholl. Anna Schumacher. Cordell Schwitzenberg. Shay Scott. Charlie Seehafer. Roman Shelton. Trey Shelton. Gavin Shepard. Olive Shippey. Kaylin Silvera. Killian Sims. Dylan Sarah. Audrey Skemp. Ricky Smith. Trinity Smith. Lena Noel Sonnenfeld. Madeline Stetzer. Xavier Stockert. Kyle Strutz. Isaac Malin Stutzman. Christian Sullivan. Noah Tylen. Latavia and Marita Thomas. Cameron Thompson. Trayvon Thompson. Greta Louise Tim. Tanner Tomchek. Bradley Teshumper. Taylor May Turner. Vera Rodriguez. Sarah Vang. Tror Vang. Grayson Viam. Javante Vogelsberg. Cody Vu. Kana Vu. Lena Vu. Yang Vu. Savit Verity. Isaiah Walker. Ada Wiggy. Sophie Wenger. Nathaniel Westwood. Benjamin Weaverstad. Zaya Whitaker. Merrick White. Eden Wheezy. Leah Wilder. Francis Wilk IV. Riley Williams. Jackson Wittenberg. Chloe Wolf. Asia Yinglai Zhang. Padao Zhang. Tuchi Zhang. Bang Zhang. Alexis Yang. Ashani Yang. Joseph Yang. Isaiah Yard. Molly Youngbauer. Sophie Zilke. Harper Grace Zietlow. Aslan Zinio. Agata Zhovkavava. Annika Zolper.
For the class of 2025, please stand. Good. To signify that we have graduated, would you please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side? As Student Senate President, it is my privilege to present the La Crosse Central High School graduating class of 2025.